Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Halifax Raiders Draft to Glory franchise mode here in NHL 24. So I am still a little bit under the weather, so if my voice doesn't sound too good, you guys kind of understand why. But anyways, in last episode of our Halifax series, we almost won 40 games, and we had some really good numbers from Mauricio Wilmagan, as per usual, and I think our team is finally starting to catch fire, and I think we could easily make it to the playoffs for the first time in franchise history within the next 1 to 3 seasons. Just hoping that obviously we could find a few more pieces to solidify that depth a little bit more, so that way when we make the playoffs we can make it for multiple years and not just one consecutively. But you can see our plus minuses on our team is starting to get much better. So our offense definitely is improving throughout the entire team, not just like the top line only. So very excited to see what ends up happening with this draft. Hopefully we can get, like I said, more good players in to hopefully give our team a better chance at making it to the playoffs very soon, because I definitely think we can make it. Because as you look here, in terms of, let's actually just go Eastern Conference wise, you can see that we were literally 11th place. We were only 5 points back technically of Tampa Bay for that last playoff spot, but I believe that was the third place in the or was that third place in our division? No, I think that was a wild card spot actually, so never mind. But we were literally only 5 points out of the playoffs, so if we are able to just find a few more wins, we could be easily into the playoff mix, which is really awesome. So anyways, let's get into some comments before we end up getting into basically the entire offseason and trying to find some more good pieces from the draft and hopefully having a really solid looking team for next season. So the first comment is from Yo-Yo What's Up, who says, why is there so many DFDs in the draft now? We need an offensive defenseman, maybe next year. I would take Harrington because he's a sniper and I know he's top 6. Will the team make the playoffs next year? Who knows? And yeah, maybe Harrington would be interesting. The thing is, I feel like we have a little bit too much offensively minded guys, so taking Harrington, who's a sniper, even though he's a good player for sure, I don't really know if I want to have more like offensively driven guys on a roster. As you look at Harrington, he's guaranteed medium top 6 sniper. He's definitely going to be a really good player with his goal scoring ability, but I don't really know, like I said, if we really need another sniper or offensively minded guy when our bottom 6 right now has a lot of offensive kind of guys on it. So we might look to actually take somebody different other than Ned Harrington. Next comment is from Trailer Park Boys, who says, I could be wrong, but I would say Piro Zabotel is actually pronounced as Piro Zabotel, which it could be, but like for how it rolls off the tongue, Piro Zabotel doesn't come off as easily to me. So saying Piro Zabotel, just I don't know, I feel like it would be easier for me to say if like we were in a playoff simulation. So I probably will end up still say it the same way, but I honestly have no idea how it's pronounced because I never heard of a player with that last name before, and that's saying a lot when I don't know any players with that last name. Next comment is from Fresh Bread, who says, needed some offensive defenseman and two-way defenseman. I would go with the right-handed two-way D-man with the first picks. I'm not sure which right-handed two-way defenseman he means. Let me see if we could find out. Oh, he's talking maybe like Voracek. Voracek could be like a two-way, but it's tough to tell. It says he's comparable to Chris Tanev, though, which makes me think he's a DFD, though. So, I don't know about that. Is there any other right Ds that he could be talking about? He could be talking about Maximus Menard, which honestly I have no idea if he's actually a two-way D either, so it's a little bit of a risk taking those type of guys, but yeah, I don't know. Next comment is from Friendly Ewok, who says, I think we might need to give Mr. Watton a chance. He's been putting up decent numbers in the AHL and needs a shot at the third or fourth line to develop, I think. And I agree that he could use maybe some NHL time, but the only problem is he might not have an opportunity to because our roster is very, very deep already. So Darcy Watton, even though he's 24, 74, and a low elite, he might not get into the NHL roster for a few more years. Like, I'm hoping he still develops into being a fourth liner, but that might take a little bit more time. If he's like a 78 by next season, though, he could easily jump into the bottom 6 and replace somebody like Ponikarovsky. But like guys like Louis Mathieu have already jumped him in terms of our depth chart. So I honestly have no idea if Watton's able to get into our roster or not. Next comment is from Ezra Hambrook, who says, 8 seasons now in the books, and the Halifax Raiders' new franchise record is 163, 455, and 38. Next season, the Raiders should easily break 200 franchise wins. So we already eclipsed 100 wins. I think it was only like a few seasons ago, and we're already going to be getting close to hitting 200 wins, which is awesome. So our win percentage is definitely improving upon prior seasons. The next comment is from Ian.NoLove, who says, so apparently all my thoughts about the season in the comment section from last episode came true. That's why I'll definitely rewrite some useful ideas for you, my man. Number one, I'm 100% sure, but sure, Mr. Coach, aka Snipe, should redo power play and penalty kill cores, maybe even double shifting my boy Mauricio. Penalty kill definitely should be stronger, both DFD plus higher overall players with decent defensive awareness. In both the AHL and NHL teams will help them grow. Number two, fire B scouts who are expiring to A/A+ overalls. It's 2 clicks, but you'll see the difference. Trust me, they'll do A+ in all regions, so you'll have them to rework them as well to get 2 to 3 for the best leagues. So he's saying to replace our scouting system. And then number 3, he says you could make this draft dope. Fox for 1 or Hull if available, plus medium elite goalie or gem in 2 to 3. No need for grinders and for lates. 2-way D plus playmaker plus offensive defenseman. Absolutely adore this team, and coaching Mr. Snipe heads up for the best season yet. Predict both teams to make the playoffs future season if you redo power play penalty kill. Love. Yeah, that's a lot to take in. So basically he wants us to redo our power play and penalty kill lines, which I honestly, maybe we'll do that at the start of next episode. So I'll basically leave it the way it is, and you guys could kind of give me some like actual lineups that you would like to see for the power play and penalty kill. But I will address the 5-on-5 obviously at the end of this episode. But the power play and penalty kill, I want your guys' feedback on that. So we'll leave that till then. He's saying to replace our B scouts with A+/A rated ones. I don't feel like it's as big of a thing. Like, I get that they do better, but I feel like these ones haven't been doing that bad. But we could always look to address our scouting pool rate in this off season, because you can see right now we have only 4 A- scouts and we have a bunch of B rated ones. So if we find any, I guess, that are in the A+ range this off season, we could take them instead and basically upgrade our pool a little bit more. So we'll see what we end up doing. I can't obviously take a look at the scouting pool right now, but I wish I could, because then I could see if it's actually worth dropping any of these guys. And finally, the last comment is from Saturn Otaku, who says, I think Linden won the Calder because of plus-minus. As far as the draft, you need more two-way forwards, so Addison or Herme would be the way to go. There's also Sexsmith if you want to reach off the board a bit. And I agree with Saturn Otaku quite a bit here about what we need to draft. And I think a two-way forward might make a little bit more sense because of the fact we do need more defensively oriented guys on our bottom 6. Because if we go over to, actually I can't take a look at our lines. If we look at our contract situation right now here in the NHL, can I see what type of players these are? Not from this screen. There's not really a good way of looking at this. Maybe actually via the trading screen, which I can't trade yet. So, oh well. Actually, I could go to the trading block. That's what I'll do. Go to the trading block, even though we don't make trades. I just want to show you guys basically what I mean with how much like snipers and playmakers we have in our lineup. Because I don't think another sniper is something I really want. But if you look at our roster here, let's sort this by player type. We only have, let's see, 6 two-way forwards, and the best of the bunch is Stajan, obviously, and Della Rovere. But after that is Markov. So you can see we lack a two-way forward quite a bit other than those two guys. So I think getting more two-way forwards in that are bottom 6-wise would be good, because Stajan and Della Rovere obviously aren't bottom 6 guys. Those are top 6 guys for sure. So we definitely need more two-way forwards. But if you sort this again here, and let's actually just go forwards. We have only 2 grinders on the team at the moment, or in the AHL at least. We have a lot of playmakers. Like maybe 10 playmakers plus. We have a good chunk of power forwards. Snipers, we have a lot of as well. We have mostly snipers on this team. So we definitely don't need any more at the moment. We could use more in the future for sure, but at the moment I don't think we need them. So we're probably going to look at the two-way forwards that Saturn Otaku is mentioning, depending on what's available at our spot, because who knows, maybe there's a lot of players that just go off the board completely. But he was mentioning Addison as one of them, which would be a great one. He's a center two-way forward, has some goal scoring ability as well. So there's an opportunity to take him. There's also Topi Herme, but this guy, I don't know what it is. He's not as intriguing. Like, his stats don't look super good. His potential isn't for sure a medium top 6, but he's 4 years out guaranteed. So he's 4 years out compared to a normal top 6, which is 3 years out. So I don't know if this guy's like a random high top 9 like Kolosov is. He might be, which would be really weird. So I don't know if I'll take a chance with Herme. He don't know for sure that he's actually two-way forward. So I'll probably take either Addison, or I'll probably lean towards Sexsmith, who he was saying that go a little bit off the board with. I think Sexsmith definitely looks better than those high top 9s. So probably our first rounder will either be Sexsmith or Addison. But if both those guys are somehow off the board, there's a lot of other options out there. Because this draft looks like it might be one of the best drafts we've seen in a while. So let's hop into the draft and get this offseason done with. Because I've been talking over those comments for like 10 minutes or so around. And I know my voice is not really going to hold up too well. So this is the latest. Obviously, we're drafting in a draft yet. We aren't drafting till 14th overall, which is pretty damn crazy. So hopefully we could get a solid prospect there. Obviously, we're not getting any more elite players likely, but we will be getting some solid top 6 ones, top 4 defensemen that could help our team out down the road. So let's take a look at this top 5 anyway. So Pittsburgh at number 1 is going to take the franchise guy. He's a franchise player. I don't know if I realized that, did I? So Pittsburgh getting another franchise player. Interesting. Guy Lacerte. So he's the next Sidney Crosby, I guess, or Mario Lemieux, depending on which way you look at it. So there is Lacerte going to Pittsburgh. San Jose at 2. What are they going to be taking? Dansk. Makes me think of that meme that Tugi had on like his friggin' live streams before. Frederick Dansk, the DFD. Looks pretty solid defensively. Good shot power too. So might be similar to Kolesnik on our team. Shantz goes 3. Like this is a pretty solid top 3. When an 81 goes 3rd overall. So Shantz going to the Islanders. Playmaker. So these are players that we missed out on because we simulated too good, but that's okay. Calgary takes Brathwaite, 78 overall playmaker. Yeah, this is a relatively solid top 5 here. And what's Detroit going to take? Dano, who's a 75. So a little bit dropping off here, but still good potential players, obviously. Peter Dano, the DFD. Okay. So there is your top 5 of this draft. Let's send to our pick at 14, see what is there. Garrison went off the board. Damn, man. So no Garrison, unfortunately. He goes to the Washington Capitals. This is what we just missed out on. Kind of sucks. Moran also went. Hull went to the Blues, which makes me think of Brett Hull, but it's Brian Hull, the DFD. People are saying maybe to take him too. Yeah, there is that. So there's your basically your top part of the draft. Let's see what we can snag up here. So we actually wait. It wasn't Addison we were talking about. Wait. Oh, I was thinking Addison was Garrison. Garrison was also a two-way forward, so it made me confused. Addison's the one that we were mentioning about, so we could still take Addison here, which is good. So that's likely who we are going to be taking here. He's going to be probably pretty similar to Garrison, and that'll be really nice to have ourselves the center two-way forward. This guy will probably be like a bottom 6 center for us for a while. I don't know if he'll end up getting into the top 6, but obviously I would rather have Sherov on a 3rd line, so I'm using this guy maybe as more of a 4th liner down the road, but maybe he ends up being more of a top 6 forward at some point. That's the one thing I don't really know if I want Addison, because I feel like we could use more wingers than centers. And then there's Sexsmith, who's the two-way. Let me take a look at those stats again. B, B minus, B minus, and a bunch of C related stuff. What about Addison? Basically the same type of thing, I think. B, B minus, B minus, C minus, C, C. Let me take a look at this again. Yeah, it's basically the exact same thing. So I could go with Sexsmith here because we have a lot of centers. I might actually go for Sexsmith, even though technically Addison's way better. I mean, we could play Addison as a winger still, regardless, even though he's not a winger. 3 years out. Let me take a look at this dude again. 3 years out. Scheme fit, balance, cycle, balance. I don't know what our coaches is. Okay, so this guy's a bit different. Let's just go for Addison since he's projected higher, I guess. We could always play him as a winger if we need to. So welcome aboard Reese Addison to Halifax. 65 overall, yeah. So this is a pretty solid top part of the draft. See, there's a bunch of 65 top sixes going. So there is Reese Addison. Better defensively than he is offensively in terms of awareness. Very solid all around. Like, his only weakness really on this is his face-offs right now. So obviously that could develop with some good face-off time, but that's a pretty solid pick. I don't mind that at all. Let's sim a few more picks just to see what the other guys were. Herme was a high top 9, but 60 overall. Going to be really interesting to see how this guy develops, because I don't think I've seen much high top 9s in the first round before. So that's who one of the players we could have got is. Kolik was a medium elite defensive defenseman. Wow, okay. Well, I don't think we really needed another DFD anyways, but medium elite going at 16th overall. Did not see that on my bingo card. Kolosov was high top 9 as well. So a couple weird high top 9 players that are going to be intriguing to see how they develop. Petrov top 4. Harrington was a 64 top 6, so this is what we missed out on, what you guys were recommending, some of you. So there is Ned Harrington. What else we got here? Hughes is a sniper. Fox is a power forward. Yeah, this is a really solid first round. A lot of top 4s and top 6s going. Like this entire first round. There's Sexsmith. He's a little bit lower overall wise, but he's pretty similar. Pretty similar. Yeah, and he's actually has good face-off stats for winger as well, so we didn't really make a bad choice there regardless. Let's sim to our next pick at 47. I don't know what we're going to get in these later rounds, to be honest, but I hope that we can still find something decent. Oh, we still have the medium elite grinder going around this stage. I think I might still take him. I know people are saying, hey, we don't need grinders on this team, but it would be good to get somebody that could be like that, because he could be used on a penalty kill situation. So I think just purposely because of the potential, I'll have to take him. Let me sort this by ranking. Yeah, I think we got to take him here, and then we could take a goalie next round. So, yeah, Jesper Anderson. I know we technically use snipers. We could use more two-way forwards like Korolev. But let's get the medium elite grinder, because might as well give us another prospect that has elite potential. 53 overall. I will take it. His offense does not look good at all, but he's pretty balanced. I don't know how he's going to develop as a medium elite grinder, but I'm hoping that he could be a good like PK guy, like I said, for us in the future. Third round, you guys said we need probably more goaltenders, so we might just go for Solis here, just because he might be a medium elite goaltender, and he's like 5 years out. So yeah, let's just go with for Marc Solis here from Quebec. Let's see how good he is. Medium elite 51, nice. Pretty solid draft for us so far up to this point. We got ourselves another medium elite goalie prospect to add to the pool, and hopefully he could develop as well, like some of the other ones are starting to. Now we got to go completely off the board though, because I don't think we have anybody else pinned, but maybe we do still. Let's double check and see if we have any pinned guys still. Yeah, we have nobody pinned left. Okay, so now we got to go for players that we just feel are good. Hey, there's a Vance. I've had good luck with Vances before, obviously. But he's looking like a low top 9, which is not really great, to be honest. But at this stage, it might be the best thing available. Let's see. Top 6 defenseman, two-way defenseman, right-handed, but 20 years old, 5 years out. It's not ideal. Medium top 9, two-way forward in Nikolai Gonchar. 5 years out, might have elite edges, probably doesn't, but he's a two-way forward. Donovan Watkins, 20 years old. Oh, they're both 20 years old. A lot of overagers in this draft as well. But a medium top 9 would be okay. It'd be better having a low top 9, I think. But some of these low top 9s are only 17, so... this guy's an offensive defenseman, Tommy Hall. He is 20 years old, though. If he was younger, maybe I would take a chance on him, but since he's already 20, Yeah, I think we got to go for the younger guys over those older medium top 9s, because I don't think those guys are going to really pan out. So let's take a low top 9 in Vance just to give us another Vance on a team. Maybe he develops, maybe he doesn't. And Vance is a low top 9 sniper. Definitely not as good as the Vance I had in Chicago, but still could develop into being a decent AHLer for us, maybe even a fourth line player for us at some stage. Round 5. Do we have anything else intriguing? Carney. Carney's actually pretty good. Kristen Carney. Medium top 6, two-way defenseman. We do need more two-ways. 5 years out at 18. Let's take him since he's got the potential. 50 overall, but yeah, being a two-way defenseman is kind of nice because, like some of you guys were saying, we need more two-way defenders and offensive defensemen, so I will definitely take that. And our final few picks of this draft, it's been a solid draft for us, I think, up to this point. Let's see, do we got anybody that could be a low lead steal? Maybe Wengrowski, can't tell. He's 20 years old though, so probably not. Sergeyev, 5 years out at 18. Might be low lead. Let's take a chance with Sergeyev, why not? Hey, let's go. Low lead, 51 overall, two-way forward. Nice. Okay, that's decent. Might be a future bottom six guy for us at some point. And our last pick of the draft, let's see if we could find a crazy steal. There's a low top 9 grinder, don't need it. Let's see. Maybe some low leads here, potentially. This guy's 20 years old, though. I don't know about that. Rafalski, Cracknell. Trying to see if we could find anybody super intriguing. Let's look at these attributes, maybe. Petini? He looks decent, maybe. What else we got here? Lars Carlson. Not even supposed to get drafted. Scout rank. There's no scout rank. There's a low top 6 power forward guaranteed. We might as well take a chance with this guy, even though he's a low top 6. Let's just take him anyways. He's got at least some rating potential, you know. So there you go. There's Corey LaBarbera. And there is our draft. I'd say a pretty successful one. We definitely addressed some of our needs a little bit. Getting Addison for a two-way forward, getting Anderson as a grinder, Solis as a medium elite goalie, and then the rest of the picks kind of off the board a bit, but we did get more two-way forwards, which is nice. And we also got another goalie, which is nice. So we are definitely starting to address that defensive problem a little bit with some of those forwards. So I like that. Okay, let's see. AHL associate coach. And we might as well bring back the AHL associate coach. Didn't really have any problems with him, I don't think so. Let's see if he'll accept a little bit of money. See if he'll be generous. Okay, so we have a lot of scouts to bring back. And I don't know if there's better scouts out there, so I am going to let all these scouts go just because of what Ian was saying. Actually, I should look at which ones have bad potential and which ones don't. So let me actually go assign scout. Which ones do not have A- rating? All of them. Okay, so I'm going to have to write down which ones we're letting go of. So we need USA West. So that way I know for next episode which ones I need to still hire. USA Central, or where I need to put them at least. We have OHL. What else is up for renewal? That's going to be gone. SHL. Then we also have USA West again. So times 2. Russia. What else we got here? Russia times 2. And that's it. Okay, so we're going to be needing 2 Russian scouts, 2 USA West scouts, a USA Central, an OHL, and an SHL. So all those scouts are going to be gone for now, but we will likely replace them once we get to the free agency portion. And yeah, some of them might come back depending on how good some of the scouts are out there. But let's get to this re-sign stage, focus on that first, because obviously this is important. So we got 33 million in cap space, not really a whole lot, but the big UFA up for renewal is Paul Mayer. He's a solid top 6 defenseman, so I'm okay with giving him like 1.7 for 3 years if he wants to accept that, maybe a little bit more. So I think that's a decent contract for a guy that can play on our top 6. Ponikarovsky, you're a pending UFA. You want still 2.3 million. I might honestly just still give it to you because we have the cap space. Watton, you could get a 3-year 2-way deal. I don't think Watton's going to pan out. Kozhivnikov, you're only 23, so we'll just give you a 1-year deal. Markov might be gone. He could play in the AHL, but he is one of the older rookies, so we'll see what we do with that. We'll give Wolniski a 3-year 2-way deal. Kozlov's going to get his ELC, which is exciting. He'll play in the AHL next year. Same with Markord. Palin, I think, has to be gone here because he was scratched all year. So Yeah, we are going to have to let go of a few players. Let's just go to RFAs, get all these RFAs that are AHL-wise qualified. And then we can start looking at who we actually are going to be letting go of. Nikitin, what do you want? Not really that bad. He's not really going to develop much more. I'm okay with giving him a 4-year deal, I think. And you guys might be like, why do that for a guy that's going to be your like backup likely? Well, might as well have a backup locked up, so at least we have a good 1-2 punch, you know. So 4x1 is fine for me for Nikitin. So he'll get that. But now we get into the interesting territory. So the first player that's going to be leaving this team that we drafted, I think, officially, well, I think there might have been one other one, but Aiden Rolson is going to be gone after only a few seasons because we don't really have the need for him. We're going to get replaced by other younger AHLers. So Aiden Rolson is going to be leaving the team. So best of luck to him in the offseason. I don't think he's going to get a contract anywhere, but he's gone. Who knows, maybe he comes back on an AHL deal at some point. Same with Finley. He's also going to be gone because he's not really much of anything at this stage. He's going to get replaced by guys in our system like Kozlov and Markward. So Finley, you are also gone for now. And also Palin is going to be gone too because we have just too much prospects. Palin's probably the toughest of the bunch because he was with our NHL team for a long time. He had some really good early seasons, but unfortunately for him, his time here is done. He was a second-round pick, which is unfortunate that we have to do this, but we just don't have the lineup space to have him anymore on our team. So those guys are all gone to free agency. I wouldn't mind bringing back Markov on a 2-way deal just for like a year to help out the AHL guys a bit. And then Ponikarovsky could take $2 million still for now. Eventually, he might end up having to go to free agency before we bring him back again. And then we also have Gove still for the AHL, so we'll re-sign Gove to an AHL contract because he's got the potential. So let's see, did we get anybody that rejected? Paul Mayer rejected. That's not great. All the RFAs are qualified, that's good. And what is Mayer wanting for a little bit longer deal? 3 years. Yeah, let's do 3 years again and give you 1.9. I just need him to play top 6 minutes pretty much for this team still. There we go. So Mayer has been re-signed. All those guys are qualified. We're good on that. From unsigned wise, do we want to sign anybody? No, not a, this mix, I don't think. No, probably not yet. I think all those guys got to stay for 1 more year as unsigned. Yeah, I think I'll wait a little bit on all those dudes. Okay, perfect. So all that is set up and ready to go. We will advance to the free agency portion and see if we still need a cap whale because we might need a cap whale to sign for the AHL. We'll definitely take a look and see if we need that. Okay, so yeah, we need to get our scouts as well. We know. Perfect. Okay, let's see. Are we above the cap floor still? We should be close to it at least. We are not. We need a cap whale. Wow, okay. It's funny when you still need a cap whale after all these years, but let's go to free agency and find ourselves somebody to use as a cap whale. We will sign not any of these guys that just want ELCs. We need to find somebody that is a bit older. Let's see. It's got to be a guy that's like 25 down here, right? And then they will end up being our cap whale to help us with our cap situation. Should be somewhere down here. 21 years old, that might work. No, it does not. Need to be older than that. Let's see. Come on, there's got to be a 25-year-old. Somebody like an Anti-Royko, you know. 21 again. We're looking for older than that. Man, there's so much like young guys that just go undrafted, like a lot of low bottom sixes and stuff like that. It's crazy. Okay, we should be getting to that stage soon, right? I'm going to scroll up kind of faster just so I can kind of see if we can find somebody. There's a 22-year-old, but I think he's also an ELC guy, right? Yep. Jeez, man. Oh, there's a 26-year-old finally, and Villeneuve. He should be good, right? Yep. Okay, he is our cap whale. So congratulations, Villeneuve. You could take 20 million bucks. Yeah, you could take $20 million from me. Enjoy it. And then that will get our cap situation resolved. Let's go to the scouting department and get ourselves some new scouts. Okay, so we need to hire anybody that's got good overall rating, which there's only 2 A- ones, so we are probably going to get stuck with some more B scouts again, but we'll sign ourselves. How much scouts do we need to sign total? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 scouts. So we'll give these guys some contracts. So that way we at least have 7 new scouts in, and then we will obviously assign them to their regions. Probably I'll do that in between videos just because it's kind of tedious to actually show you guys. So that's 4 scouts. That's 5. We need 2 more. And then, like I said, I'll reassign these guys off camera after this episode ends, likely. Okay, so there's 7 scouts, and that's perfect. Okay, so that's all addressed and ready to go. Is there anything we also need to do this off season? I don't think so, before we get to editing our lines. Oh, man. This is going to be another expensive year for us, because Della Rivera is going to need an extension. Ooh, yeah, he's going to be a little bit pricey. Weber's going to need an extension. He's also trying to get a good chunk of money. Mason. Yeah, we're going to get into that money territory soon where we're not going to actually need a cap whale, which is really nice, but let's them to next season and see what we're working with in terms of our lines. Hopefully all these scouts accept. If there's any rejections, I will still need to sign one more scout. Looks like all of them are signing right now, which is good. Obviously, all they want to join is a good team like this. And Villeneuve takes the $20 million, of course, so that is it. Perfect. And now we just got to get our lines set up and see what they're looking like for 2031-32. Hopefully, it's looking pretty good, as I think this could be the year we make the playoffs. That's my prediction right now, is we might be a playoff team. Because we came so close last year. If our team is a little bit better, we could make the playoffs. So let's first go to roster moves and see if there's anybody that needs to actually come up first before we go ahead and address our lines. And then, like I said, I won't do the power play and penalty kill yet until next episode, so you guys can give me some feedback on that. So we already have 4 goalies in the AHL, which is crazy. Likely it's going to be Norinen who's playing and Gove because they have potential. Cameron and Friesen are likely scratched. So yeah, there's good with that front. Defensively, Rizzy could come up in exchange for McLaren, but I think we might wait one more year with Rizzy. So he's getting close. So yeah, defensively should be fine the way it is right now. Is that 7 defensemen or 6? 6. Okay, good. Anybody in the AHL? Smirnov gets sent down and Watton gets called up. Let me just go to forwards here in general. See if there should be probably more than 12 forwards, right? 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then, yeah, Ponikarovsky might be on his way out too. Yikes. I probably should keep Ponikarovsky up here because of his contract. But, yeah, Darcy Watton, once again, is not going to be making the cut. Just his team is too good. Yeah, we have, like, a lot of players in the NHL. I honestly might consider getting rid of Petterman. I'm going to send Petterman to the AHL as well. Because I think Mathieu and Mason have jumped him, and then Ponikarovsky I'd like to keep in our lineup for at least one more season. But I think Petterman's going to be back in the AHL, which maybe we kind of rushed his development a little bit. Let's just go to best lines in the AHL since we sent down some people. And let's rework our NHL team a little bit here. So, Pierre Zabotel, let's see. He's listed as a third liner, so probably want to use him as a third liner. Yo, this team is definitely coming together quite nicely. Mason down the middle. Oh my. Okay, I like this actually a lot. I like this team a lot. We should be playoff bound with this roster, I think. Lehman, Wilm. Obviously, Wilm, we want to move over there. Lehman, Ahin, and Wilm. Great top line as always. Della Rivera, Sherov, and Stajan. And we have Vlasic, Pierce Zabotel, and Joel Weber, which is nice. Fourth line, Ponikarovsky, Mason, and Mathieu. This is looking really solid. Wait, let me see. Who has a better fit for that line? That's around the same, I think. I might eventually move Pierre Zabotel back into the top 6, but I like that a lot. Very solid forward core and good chemistry. Defensively, we still have that minus issue that we had last year a little bit. So that's unfortunate, but that is okay. Yeah, I like the defensive core too. It's a little bit weak, obviously, with McLaren and whatnot, but this team is definitely starting to come together quite nicely. And then obviously Sonnenberg and Nikitin. Yeah, this is good. I'll show you guys what the power play lines look like right now and the penalty kill, and you guys could give me some feedback on how you guys think we should be structuring our power play. So this is what the AI has them set up as, and obviously we can make some adjustments to it accordingly in the next episode, and that's what we'll probably end up doing. So yeah, just give me some mock line combinations for the penalty kill and the power play for every single unit if possible, and then I will go ahead and address that. Like, I'll definitely test some things out that have better chemistry. So there is our lines, and I think this is going to be a really good year for this team. AHL-wise, is there anybody that shouldn't be scratched? Yeah, there's a couple. I'm going to have to address this, I think, after this video ends, just because or else this will add too much time. But we got a lot of good players in the AHL. Eventually, guys like Pitt and No, and the older dudes, Grabowski, will be on their way out, though. So there is our NHL team. And I think that is almost it. Let me see contract extension wise again about those guys that are up for renewal this offseason, because I think we might need to lock them up soon too. 8 by around probably like 7.5 would be decent for Del Rovere. Weber, what is he trying to get for like 8-year deal? Pretty good deal. We should be able to get Weber on an 8-year deal and lock him up, kind of like we did with Stajan. And then Mason probably. He wants a 2-way deal right now. He might not develop much more than a 78, but that's still useful. So there is that. Oh, what is Sonnenberg wanting for like 8 years? Is he going to develop into that elite goaltender? He is. Oh, man. Because that contract just shoots up. That means he's going to definitely develop. So we got to think about locking him up maybe now if we want to keep him. Or we might end up losing him in a few years. Like, we could do like a $5 by $4 million deal, something like that. But I would like to hold on to Sonnenberg if we can, like, for a long time. As usually I always change goalies a lot, but he is going to turn into that elite goalie for sure with that contract asking. I think that's it. I think that is it. Let me take a look at one last thing. What is the top pick in this year's draft? A center. A lot of offensive players. Okay, not as much defenders this year. I kind of like that in a way. So anyways, guys, that is going to do it for this episode of our Halifax Raiders Draft to Glory franchise mode. So in next episode, we will have another season simulation. I think this team could make it to the playoffs this year, or just barely miss like last year. But I think we are definitely on the right path to making the playoffs as soon as possible. And once we get to the playoffs, I'm very excited to see what guys like Mauricio Wilm could do in postseason action. So anything down below, and I'll see you guys next time.